Hey y'all, thank y'all for joining me for this impromptu as fuck reading. If it's your first time joining me, my name is Keita, and if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I just got home from a vendor event. As you probably can tell from my voice, I've been running my mouth all day, but had a wonderful time. So shout out to everybody at the queer kickback today. I thoroughly enjoyed y'all's energy. The DJ was phenomenal. Got to link up with chit chat with some of my vendor friends. One of my high school classmates was there, and we got a chance to sit and catch up and rap about some things. And yeah, it was just an all around good time. I will say the highlight for me was doing readings, doing what I love to do. And I had quite a few today, but one reading that I did while I was there really stood out to me as a collective energy, like not specific to an individual, but something that many of us are experiencing and need to tap in with, need to hear, right? So I took a picture of the spread, and as I was unwinding and about to take a bath and chill out for the night, I was reminded that that was a collective energy, and I need to come down here and share the message with y'all. So here I am. Don't say I ain't never gave y'all none, okay? So the card that fell out is the Ten of Wands, and I used the Light Seers Tarot. So the Ten of Wands looks different in this deck. Another just message that I channeled was that, yeah, it's a lot going on a national, global scale, in the community, in the world at large, right? It's a lot of moving parts, lots of chaos and confusion and fuck shit, right? And we definitely need to tap in with current affairs, like not necessarily obsess over it, but we need to take this shit that's going on seriously, in a way that we may not have been prior to now, because we were getting too fucking comfortable. We've gotten too complacent and desensitized with a lot of the oppression that is taking place at the hands of the powers who think they are, right? But we also need to tap in, go within, and take care of our internal affairs. So you got current affairs going on at large, and then you got the internal affairs that need your attention in your personal life, right? And having the discernment and the balance needed to give both the attention it needs when it needs it. This Ten of Wands, though, is speaking more to the internal affairs. It's speaking to traditionally a burdensome cycle, or reaching some cycle of a period of exhaustion, as tens represent cycles. But in the Light Seers Tarot, the image tells it all. And this is someone who has traveled downhill, got all their shit packed up, sitting on the back of this, I guess that's a bull. So Taurus energy may be significant. But this woman, she has her belongings in her hand, and it's downhill from here for her. Climbing up that hill took more energy, right? So whatever you've been through, it's the end internally, personally, of a tough cycle for you. And with everything that's going on outside of you, that has to be a sigh of relief. The thing is, though, this Ten of Wands being at the bottom of this hill it being a downhill journey means things are gonna get easier. You can finally start to catch your breath. It's gonna come from some final push. It's gonna be finalized by some final courageous something that you're being called to face and or do. And it's being encouraged and backed by some activation that has taken place. Because at the top of the deck in that reading was the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning, and it often speaks to being activated in some way. So we could be speaking to a Kundalini awakening where your creative and sexual energy is heightened and coming alive and lighting up your chakras, up your spinal column and reaching your third eye and your crown chakra. As you can see here, there's a flame at this person's crown, because they've been activated. They're passionate and excited and enthusiastic. I was trying to say enthused, but they're enthusiastic about something. They're inspired by something. They're on fire about something, right? And this is what led the person over the hill in the first place. Just this desire for something new, some flame within them being ignited, being fueled within, right? So you may resonate with this if you've been recently activated in some way, but it's definitely speaking to new beginnings as a result of or leading to some endings. Because you got the 10s, then you got the 1, right? Aces or wands. So at the bottom of the deck, you got the thing that you're being called to do. You got that push, that initiation, that putting the nail in the coffin. The 8 of Cups. Walking away from what no longer serves you. Walking away from groups and people and relationships and careers, ideas and beliefs, patterns and habits that no longer serve you, and being able to identify those things by way of this Ace of Wands. This activation, this ascension, this it's another word that I'm thinking of, awakening that has taken place is one that you will forever be changed. Whatever was on the other side of this hill, those things will never take center court in your life again, because they're being burned away. You're like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Like, yeah, you went through some tough shit. It got hard. Your chaos was burning, climbing up that hill, trying to get over all of the things that were coming your way as you're steadily trying to move forward. Lots of responsibilities, lots of burdens internally and externally. But guess what? It's a new day. It's a new day. Like, you can literally see the sun shining over the horizon on this picture with the 8 of Cups. Whatever she decided to take to the water and leave there, you know how in the church they say bring it to the altar and leave it there? She has burned something and left it to flow off into the abyss, into forever everland, or wherever it goes, wherever the end of the ocean lies, and is walking toward the sun. The sun representing freedom, happiness, enlightenment, clarity, truth, childlike innocence, fun, joy. This person is heading in the direction of what brings that energy and who brings that energy into their life. So that is dope as fuck. But guess what? It ain't easy. It's just now you have the vitality to do it. You have a motive that pushes you, that inspires you to keep going, even though you had to climb this hill and you're tired. Building that strength and that energy and that life force to get it done, to walk away from things that once held you back, old attachments. I clarified I really wasn't trying to clarify the Ace of Wands, but I was clarifying the entire reading, right? Every last one of the clarifier, of the clarifier card fell on top of the Ace of Wands, which told me that whatever this passionate new beginning, this activation, this awakening is, these clarifiers are speaking to the specifics of what that looks like. So the first card that came out is, as a child, my nervous system accepted that closeness comes at a cost. So I became hyper independent and self-sufficient. So one of the things that this individual has come into awareness of is some childhood wounding and how that is showing up in their adulthood, in their 3D reality, how it has been governing their the way they move in this world, and that it has taught them that in order to feel safe, I just got to do shit myself. I'm not accepting no help. I don't want nobody to do nothing with me. I don't want a partner. Even when I partner, I'm going to still kind of move in my own way. I don't want to be all in with anybody. Instead, I'm going to be hyper independent, because ain't nothing wrong with independence, but you can be too independent. Like, we were not meant to come here and navigate this life, our whole life alone, and not feel safe amongst one another and in communion and community with one another, right? So hyper independence is a thing, and it's toxic. And this person has been too self-sufficient. You know what I'm saying? Like, that whole idea of, I got it, I'm straight. People offer you help, you won't take it, or you taking it reluctantly. There's some guilt and some shame that comes with accepting assistance. Yeah, that stems from the way your nervous system was programmed as a child. So you might have got hollered at a lot, or lived in a house where people hollered even when they just talking, or speaking your mind, expressing your emotions was shunned, or just anything that could have occurred in childhood that would have then taught you that you can't depend on others, that others are not a safe space for you. So this is something that has come into this person's awareness by way of this activation with the Ace of Wands. Then, if I had ever doubted what I already was picking up from that card alone, the next card was becoming more conscious and aware of one's shadow. So this is shadow work. This is literally bringing that light, shining the light on those dark spaces within the unconscious and subconscious mind. Bringing those things into the forefront and becoming more conscious of them and how they affect you and how you show up in relationship and on a day-to-day, so as to put them in their proper perspective and heal them, to no longer move with that faulty battery in your back. Then I know that we're talking about some kind of a connection, because the next card is, I find you extremely attractive. So this is someone who is not only activated and going through an awakening, but also they have passion for another being. The Ace of Wands typically in the original tarot is literally like a phallus. The wand is a phallus, like a hard penis. And that is life force energy. That is sexual attraction. That is creative attraction, either, which is an aspect of one's energy and passion that isn't often expressed. But the attraction ain't gotta be just sexual. But whatever it is, this person finds another person extremely attractive. Not a little bit, but a whole lot, right? Then after that, you have divine discernment. Not divine discernment, divine discontentment. And divine discontentment is when you are being divinely made uncomfortable, when you're being divinely put in a position to not like what it is that you're being presented with or offered, so that you can be triggered to do something different, to desire more for yourself, to desire better, so that you can get out of that burdensome cycle and get excited about something new. Um, the divine will allow divine discontentment in your life because you are uncomfortable and unhappy and unsatisfied and unfulfilled for a reason. It serves a purpose. And it coming after I find you extremely attractive, it may very well be speaking to not being attracted to whatever is being offered to you, or whom or what you're already connected to, being unsatisfied in that area. A person can be intellectually not attracted. If the person is not on your level in terms of maturity, you're not attracted. If y'all are not equally yoked, meaning headed in the right direction spiritually, or anchored the same spiritually, that can be unattractive, or you could find somebody to be extremely attractive in that way. So it's not just about physicality or sexuality, but one thing for certain and two things for sure. With the Ace of Wands in the deck, sexual attraction is definitely on the table. That's a burning desire. And then you have, you're not my type, but you're not my type, but I'd be willing to give it a shot. You're not my type, but I'd be willing to change my ways. You're not my type, but I'm open to connecting with you in some shape, form, or fashion. It's not finite. It's not, you not my type, so get the fuck out my face. It's not, you not my type, so that's just that. We can't go no further because you ain't my type, and I'm not willing to bend or fold or compromise in any way. Actually, this is giving, you're not my type, but you're not what it's like you. It's not that you're not my type as if I'm not attracted to you. You're not my type because you're not what I'm used to, is what this is saying. And this individual is being made uncomfortable around and in the environments and around the people that he's used to, or she is used to, because they're meant to explore something new. You're meant to level up in a way. Honestly, as this individual becomes more conscious and aware of their shadow, they get closer and closer to embodying their true self when they're honest with themselves about their shadows as well as their light. And the more you embody and become aware of and connect with your true self, then you connect with your true partner and your true soul tribe. And that looks like what is happening here, because at the, not the bottom, but the last of those, that series of cards that came out, is iron sharpens iron. This is someone who is attracted to someone who motivates them, who challenges them, who makes them sharp, or who helps them take one thought and elevate it into another. Who, you might say something to the person and then they go down this rabbit hole of researching it because they're intrigued and they're inspired. And then those are the type of people you want to be around. You don't want to be around people who dim your light, people who drain your energy. You don't want to be the smartest person in the room either. You want to be around people who challenge you to be a better person, because iron sharpens iron. You want to be around people who make you a better person. I know I do. And so this is a dope energy, and I'm hoping that if this resonates with any of you, that it helps you better understand where you are on your journey, possibly even why you feel this divine discontentment. You're being made unhappy, unfulfilled, uncomfortable for a reason, because it's calling you to level up and close out this burdensome cycle. Because honestly, as you align with it, it's downhill from there. It's going to get easier. You've done the hard part. You've already done the heavy lifting. It's one more thing you need to do. You need to walk away from whatever this is you so divinely discontent with. So at the top of the deck, we have a card that speaks to more shadow work on this individual's behalf. And it says, the feminine energies in my life have led me to believe that all women are manipulative. Sit with that. Because out of all the women in the world, and me and my ex, we was talking about this the other day, about how I was saying how it's hard to have these conversations about men and women and this and that, because the more you evolve, the more you see you can't generalize how men show up and how women show up, because it's not a one size fits all thing. Your experiences, especially when left unexplored and unhealed, will lead you to believe that all women are one way and all men are another way. And then you meet people who might be well-meaning, but they got to fight through this illusion and this perspective of understanding this stigma that you have of the experiences that you've had with women or the experiences that you've had with men. We're going to keep it on specifically what this says as far as feminine energies in this individual's life, having led them to believe that all women are manipulative. They might have been. The women you've met up to this point that you've interacted with, your mother, your sister, your girlfriends, your wife, your ex-wife, your daughters, your aunties, your babysitter, they might have been manipulative and untrustworthy. But that does not mean that every woman that you come into communication with, relationship with, interaction with is manipulative. And it ain't fair to treat all women as such. So it's important to do that shadow work, to learn to discern, to learn to use your intuition, especially as a masculine, because then that's you leaning into integrating your masculine and feminine energy when you lean into that intuitive knowing and not just your logic. Your mind gonna tell you, the data is gonna add up to come out to be, 1 + 1 = 2. All of my experience with women have been manipulative, so all of them manipulative. But your intuition is gonna tear that math down and break that shit down like a fraction. No, actually, the women that you've encountered are manipulative because it was meant to teach you a lesson. It was meant to show you what it feels like to be manipulative, so ultimate to be manipulated, and what it looks like to be around manipulative people, so that you can not be that way toward other people. You've been on the receiving end of what that feels like. You shouldn't want nobody else to feel that hurt, pain, and disappointment. But also, a lot of that shit just be shit you meant to teach people about, not for you to take it and it become this armor and this shield of bitterness that you use to rack up more karma because of you not trusting people and how you treat people. And I think this might be a trust issues card. Yep, trust issues. So this person is awakening to their trust issues and how they have shown up in their life, and that there's something better out there, that's not the case in every situation. It's not a one size fits all type of situation. Clearly it's not if they find somebody extremely attractive and can recognize that, you're not my type, but actually my type has turned out to be very manipulative and you different. My type has turned out to be negative in some way, to have the potential to hurt me in some way, and you've shown me none of that. You don't even seem to have the potential to be on none of that type of time. And you actually contribute to me being a better person. Like, this is someone who's seeing with their third eye and their crown chakra, closing their eyes to what's going on outside of them and going within, paying attention to their internal affairs to make a decision to walk away from what no longer serves them. And what no longer serves them is some of these thoughts and shadows that have governed how they've lived up to this point. So now you got somebody who actually believes that there's better out there, that believes in better quality experiences because they've torn through the illusion that once kept them in low vibrational connections. Because another thing about, say, if you've been interacting with manipulative female, feminine energies, how did you align with it? Take accountability for how you showed up. Did you like it? You were attracted to the chaos and the confusion and the manipulation? Because when they manipulated you, that gave you an excuse to do them dirty, to not show up fully. So that's all something to consider and be honest with yourself about if you are going to evolve. Because one thing for certain and two things for sure, we're being led to balance out paying attention to current affairs collectively and internal affairs personally, because it all coincides. You can't show up on the front lines talking about standing up for your people, fighting for rights and all of that, and internally you a hot ass mess. You're gonna fold. You can't revolutionize and be a humanitarian and show up and walk in your purpose. That's why so much shadow work and ego deaths take place prior to building that strength to walk in your purpose, because you're being stripped to a level of purity so that you show up for all the right reasons and all the appropriate ways, and you're built to last as it relates to what you're being called to do. At the bottom of the deck was believe, which is one of the root chakra cards. Trust that you have the right to survive and thrive, and you will never settle for the bare minimum. So this is someone who has awakened to where they have settled, where they have aligned with some low vibe shit but no longer do. And that's where the divine discontentment comes into place. It's someone who's no longer wanting to live in survival mode and make decisions out of lack and according to circumstance, but actually thrive and walk and live and think and make decisions based on abundance consciousness, doing better for themselves, knowing that they deserve better. So I love this for whoever resonates with this message. I want to dive a little bit deeper to get the tea. So I'm asking, is there anything else that this individual is walking away from with this Eight of Cups that hasn't already been outlined here in this reading? All right. Fake flexing. Acts rich, flosses money, acts fancy, shows off, etc. This is somebody who's walking away from no longer trying to impress other motherfuckers. Flogging and flexing like they got it in a way that they don't. Making it look very aesthetically pleasing when on some real shit, they struggling. They ain't really got it like that. Or they got it, but they struggling to keep it. And for some, this ain't even financial. It's faking like you happy, like you got joy, like you in a good space when you're miserable, when you're in this divine discontentment. Showing up to the functions because it's the right thing to do. Even though you can't stand half of these motherfuckers. Going along to get along. That is also fake flexing. And as you can see in this card, the motherfucker got on, it's a woman, and she got on some shades. Masking. Not showing your real self. You know, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. So this person's eyes are covered. Showing up in environments and amongst people who you really don't even feel like them your folks for real. But you feel like you got to do what you got to do, right? That's not authentic. Meanwhile, feeling robbed with thief. Discontent, not happy, feeling like there's something better out there for you and you can't get to it, or somebody stole your joy, stole your peace, stole your idea because you're not owning your shit. but no longer carrying that shit, walking away from feeling like you've been robbed of something, of some opportunity. Whatever it is you feel like you've been robbed from, or whoever I'm talking about, because I might be talking about a cross watcher and not the actual person whose energy is coming through in the reading. Take it how it resonates. Marrying for money, walking away from being involved. Again, divine discontentment. Being in a relationship for all the wrong reasons, for superficial reasons. This is somebody who's possibly partnered with somebody who benefits them financially or just looks good on paper. But whatever the case, marrying with the wrong motives. It ain't got shit to do with love and everything to do with some superficial benefit. Then you got screenshots. So screenshot speaks to having proof. And I'm really because it's getting evidence, proof, and facts. So this is someone who because we still talking about what they walking away from. Having all the proof you need to bust your move. All the facts, all the screenshots, all the documents, all the things that you've observed that you know to be true are wrong in this situation, and still not moving. So that's like denial, right? Walking away from that shit as well. Chasing. Walking away from Spirit is saying walking away from trying to hit a moving target. Like the goal keeps moving. There's no focus. It's hard to focus and have a concrete end goal is what chasing represents. You have this woman here who is giving a rose to someone who's in front of her. So this could possibly be someone also walking away from not only a moving target, but like a situation where they know someone is chasing or pursuing them, and they know they don't want, like for real, deep down in their heart, they don't want what this person is dishing out. Or they want it, but they don't want it from the person. It's something about it that's not aligned. And that is why they're being led to walk away from it, because it's something that no longer serves them. It could be like somebody's chasing them and stroking their ego, and they allowed it for a while. You know what I'm saying? But one thing for certain and two things for sure. When it comes to energy, masculine energy pursues and chases and puts forth logical action, right? And I ain't talking about genders. I'm just talking about energy. We all got masculine and feminine energy within us. I can chase as a woman, but that would be me leaning into my masculine energy. And I ain't finna do that. Meanwhile, feminine energy is receptive. It is intuitive. Excuse me. And when women, because that's a thing, me and my ex was talking about this too. Women are so aggressively pursue men these days, but it is very symbolic of the imbalance in masculine and feminine energy in these dynamics, because they lean so far into their masculine energy where they leave nothing but room for the man to be in his feminine energy and be receptive. Now, I'm not saying that a man should not be open to receiving from a woman, but it should make you feel like you're not in your masculine energy when she the one pursuing you and doing all, like predominantly doing the pursuing, and you just receiving. You know what I'm saying? You the passenger princess. She pumping your gas. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm for one who believes in balance, but I also believe in leaving room for a man to be a man. I do. And whatever that looks like in each dynamic is according to people. I try not to do too much judging on it, but it's a collective thing where women are leaning further into their masculine energy when it comes to chasing and pursuing men, and that is not according to divine order. That's not balanced. But you got bad karma in reverse. That is why this is a journey that it's downhill from here, because the bad karma card being in reverse, somebody has gone through some bad karma. They've already gone through the bad karma and they're aware of it, especially with proof and chasing, photo proof and chasing. In this bad karma card, this woman got all kinds of serpents and shit coming out of her mouth, her head, her fingers. Like, there was something very low vibe and demonic about this situation. And I'm hearing succubus energy, that female energy that haunts and pursues and drains men. But it's in reverse. So that looks like something that is over, that has ended, a cycle. That's that burdensome cycle, part of that burdensome cycle that has ended. And then you got photo proof getting evidence, and it's in reverse as well, because this is somebody who has proof, again, that in this situation, they thought they came up bankrupt at one point. They felt robbed, right? Because bankrupt is in reverse as well. But with this sun peeping over the horizon, this is somebody who actually has something to look forward to. The safe ain't empty after all. I still got something of value that I'm looking forward to and moving forward to with the Eight of Cups. So I love this for whoever resonates with this. I am going to leave this here because if I don't, I'm at risk of going another 15-20 minutes talking about this, and I think we've done a good job of breaking this down. So with that being said, y'all, if you would like a personal reading, feel free to email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're interested in coming to the community affair event for the 8/8 portal. We do still have a few spaces available to join us for comedic yoga, as well as sound healing, and a shamanic journey, and a complimentary beverage is included in your ticket. That information is on the community board. And y'all, I'm finna go ahead and wash my ass and go to bed. So I'm gonna bid y'all farewell until next time. Peace.